I used to work with WIOG back in the day.
Looks like that wreck on 94 westbound Florida Lodge was just cleared. That was still that repair project on the Jeffries westbound between the van and I-65. Just stop and go from Farmington Road. Now going to be JR Weatherford from the Weather Channel.
Right. My own. I'll punch my own. Okay.
8 degrees right now. More sun for Tuesday, maybe a couple of degrees warmer with a high of 82.
WJR traffic and weather first.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. I want to tell you about Cosm. They are bringing the ultimate immersive sports experience right here to Detroit. At Cosm, you can watch all of your favorite sports on massive high-resolution displays surrounded by fellow fans. The Dome is an immersive experience with a massive wraparound display and reserved seating. Watch the game from inside the Dome. Feel like you're transported to the field or the court with elevated food and drinks brought directly to your seat. The hall features wall-to-wall live multi-view sports so you can watch every game while cheering on your teams with your fellow fans. They have a huge selection of games: NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, soccer, WWE, and so much more. They even have immersive movie nights like Willy Wonka, Harry Potter, The Matrix, and so much more. And we can't forget the deck, Cosm's top-level bar with amazing views for when you need a break from the action. You can even enjoy a signature menu of local food favorites, craft cocktails, and beers throughout the venue. To get more information on upcoming events, including pre-sale access, go to cosm.com/Detroit.
This city is known across the globe for doing things, well, different. We just see it as a place to do you. Make the time. Expand your mind. Find your voice. Make your masterpiece. Nurture your curious nature. Feed your niche. Find your table. Invite your friends. Invite their friends. Make new friends. So do just that and dive into a different kind of different in Ann Arbor.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org. Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR. Hosting the 10th annual Pure Michigan Ag Tour. Today, Ryan is live from the terminal at the MBS International Airport in Freeland. This broadcast is sponsored by Go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan. Visit gogreat.com. Here's Ryan.
Hey, let's go on a Monday, August 3rd, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. Beth Ann Long is with me. Ray Templin is with me. Ava DeManja is with me as well. Dominic Valentini back at the station. We appreciate you back there, Dominic, running the show. We are on the Ag Tour 2026. Today we are broadcasting live from Freeland, Michigan. It's about a 2-hour drive or so from Detroit. Agriculture ranks as the second largest industry in the state of Michigan, trailing behind only, can you guess what that might be, Beth Ann, Ray, anybody?
Automotive.
Look at that. You get a prize, and you get a prize. It generates over $125 billion in annual economic activity and employs over 800,000 Michiganders. Michigan is also the second most diverse agriculture states in the nation, producing over 300 commodities, only trailing. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Beth Ann, guess. Name a state.
Name a state, Ray.
Who produces more commodities than Michigan? Only one state in the country.
Iowa?
Not Iowa. Close. California.
I was just about to say California. I was waiting to see if Ray would get it.
California produces over 400 commodities. So over the next week, we're going to celebrate agriculture. We're going to celebrate our farm industry. We're going to celebrate all of it. And we're going to celebrate our regions, too, where we are. You know, the Great Lakes Bay region is so crucial to that type of success. And one of the great things about the Great Lakes Bay region is sharing the wealth with all of these different communities, Bay City and Birch Run and Chesaning, Frankenmuth, Midland, Saginaw, all of the great communities here. And we're in Freeland, just over the Zilwaukee Bridge, about a 15-minute drive over the Zilwaukee Bridge. And we are at MBS International Airport. And I got to tell you, I've lived here my whole life, Holly Barron, assistant airport director. I never even knew this place was here. This is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. We take pride in our local airport.
It is fantastic. And, you know, the TSA line is a lot shorter than perhaps what maybe we're used to. And that's a good thing.
That's
too.
right. There's benefits to flying close from home. We had no waits during the TSA. The government shut down.
Absolutely.
No waits, no lines. Great parking. You're right there. Walk right in and get on your flight in a matter of no time.
You know, this airport, two major airlines, Delta and United, fly out of here.
You're right. Delta to Detroit, United to Chicago. And from either of those airports, you can connect to anywhere in the world.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Now, who takes advantage? Is it people that live kind of in the Great Lakes region that will or the Great Lakes Bay region that will come here? Will people from Detroit make a 2-hour drive essentially? Maybe if you can get a cheaper flight, maybe, you know.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Most of we call it a catchment area. Most of our catchment area comes from probably about Gaylord down.
Mm-hmm.
And then anywhere in between. Like you said, Chesaning, north of Flint. Some folks come from Flint because Bishop's not always competitive.
That's always a interesting kind of thing. I'm going to Boston at the end of the month, and just to check it out, I put my flight in if it would have come from here, and I would have saved about $400.
Yeah.
That's worth the 2-hour drive.
It is. Plus you're paying what?
$14?
$14 a day for parking instead of $30.
That I did not realize that. So that is definitely something. If you're in the Detroit area, I mean, plug MBS International Airport into a trip and do a quick. Do a
comparison.
Seriously, I mean, if you're saving, if I would have known that, I mean, $400 is $400.
It is. We had a colleague recently go to London, and he compared leaving from Detroit versus MBS, and he saved $200 out of MBS for his London trip.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's incredible.
And that's just on the airfare.
I mean, you can come here, you can rent a car. It's not crowded. You come, you get something nice to eat, you go on your way.
Yep. This morning I met a gentleman who's the father of a player for the Great Lakes Loons.
Really?
Who's our baseball team here in the Midland area. And same thing. He loved this airport, was flying back to Miami, and it's convenient, it's comfortable.
Now, a baseball player, you're a baseball fan, right?
Yes.
What do you think of the Tarek Skubal trade?
I don't like I don't like it.
I know we are, for everybody back home, we are keeping an eye on MLB trade deadline day today. There's so much happening in baseball, in news. We are keeping an eye on all of it today. We'll talk a little baseball coming up at 2:35 today, but just a quick sneak peek. If you've been following my social media at all over the course of the last 2 days, I hate the trade. And I hate the trade for a number of reasons. One in which I wanted to initially trade Tarek Skubal. I didn't want to give him away for a bag of balls. And if I know people will look at these prospects, there is no guarantee that any prospect will help you win a World Series in years to come. The only question I would have is, are you closer to a World Series championship today than you were yesterday? And I would say the answer is no.
I would agree with you. If you consider one of the new prospects, he's 22 and he's already had Tommy John surgery.
Right.
So he's already been on the injured list. And honestly, if I could play armchair baseball coach, we need some new relievers.
Well, there's no question about it. And perhaps that is one thing that the Tigers will do today. There was an article in The Athletic earlier today that I read that talked about how Scott Harris, Tigers general manager, was going to try to thread the needle with this trade deadline and maybe even try to add an arm to stay competitive. They are 2.5 games out of a wild card, 5.5 games out of the Central. I, in fact, even think it's easier to win, or excuse me, not easier, but more realistic to win the Central Division than the wild card, because you have 50 games left. 23 of those games are against AL Central Division opponents. Mm-hmm. So you can go right through an American League Central Division title. Somebody's got to win it, and why not be the Detroit Tigers? And the guy, Zin Hope, or I believe that's the player's name that everybody is high on, 25th ranked player in prospect in baseball right now, but the 4th or 5th best at Dodgers prospect. I just don't love it. I mean, if you're going to trade Tarek Skubal, if you're going to get that, as one general manager said to Jim Bowden, make that deal on Monday. Mm-hmm. Go shop that deal around. You didn't have to do that today, but we'll see what happens, and we will see what else is happening here in the Great Lakes Bay region. We invite you to check out GoGreat.com. If you're watching on YouTube and you see a frozen picture, I'm going to get right on this. My computer restarted as soon as our Open began playing. So we'll get you going on YouTube in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're on the Ag Tour in Freeland, Michigan. More coming up next, 760 WJR.
You need an IT partner who sees your business goals first. At Awcom, we begin by understanding what you care about: efficiency, team productivity, client experience. Then we build cybersecurity, reliable IT support, employee training, and smart AI tools around those goals. We're transparent. We're results-focused. We deliver more than fixes. We deliver growth. Visit awecomm.com. That's awecomm.com. And let's put your business first.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 instant gift, plus next-day delivery. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. Next-day delivery available on select mattresses and subject to location. See store for details.
Auto accident that wasn't your fault. Michigan law says you may be owed up to $3,000, but your window to claim it is limited. We'll help you get that money completely free.
Only at Michigan Auto Law. Auto accident attorneys. Visit 3kforfree.com.
When you're digging a hole, either large or small, it's the law that you make yourself a 3-digit call. Digging a trench or garden in the sun, you gotta call Miss Dig 811. It's free, it's safe, it keeps your project fun, and it's the law. Call Miss Dig 811. Sponsored by Miss Dig 811.
American Red Cross inventories of the most needed blood types are days away from crisis levels. Help make sure patients receive life-saving medical treatments. Make your appointment to donate. Use the Blood Donor app. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Big summer projects start with the right equipment. Whether you're a homeowner tackling a weekend job or a contractor managing a major project, Skyworks Equipment Rental has the lifts, loaders, excavators, and tools you need. Rent today or reserve ahead of time at skyworks-reliablerentals.com. Still have some police activity on Coolidge, south of 9 Mile. Please avoid that area. Construction blocks your right lane on the northbound Southfield Freeway between Ford Road and I-96. Your right lane also closed for repairs on I-94 westbound between Greenfield and Wayne Road. And we still have that repair project on the Jeffries westbound between Levan and I-275. That's going to wrap up in October. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Lots of sunshine today, a high near 80. Clear skies for tonight, a low of 68. Right now it's 78 degrees. More sun for Tuesday, maybe a couple of degrees warmer with a high of 82. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming up Tuesday on JR Morning, primary day here in Michigan. We'll talk about all the hotly contested races, especially on the Democratic side for U.S. Senate and the GOP's big decision on who will represent them on the November midterm ballot. Join us 6 to 9 on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
760 WJR, Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. We are here on the Ag Tour. Welcome to the Great Lakes Bay region. The 2026 Ag Tour brings us to MBS International Airport in Freeland, Michigan. GoGreat.com is the website for all things in the Great Lakes Bay region, and we finally got that camera going on YouTube, aka my camera going on YouTube. What a time for the restart on the computer there. Nothing ceases to amaze me with this technology. Anyway, neither here nor there. Holly Barron is with me. She's the assistant airport director at MBS. We encourage you to check this place out, but also Holly is doing some amazing things, including the Giving Garden. You are growing a garden, growing for the community. Tell me about this.
I am. So we 10 years now.
Gardening that way?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Gardening that way for the last 10 years.
So you have this parcel out in outside of your office there, and where are you giving this to?
So last week I donated 7 pounds of food to Midland's Open Door, and I'm looking for organizations who are willing to accept Chesterfield, Virginia Fire Department. There was a food truck that fed people. I would donate food to them. I only need what I can eat. So the rest goes to people in need. And I brought that up here with me.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to this cardboard and the no-till garden. I'm fascinated by that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about, doing it? You're just laying dirt on, putting seeds and...
No dig, no till. You
out
literally
you go?
Lay down a couple layers of cardboard and compost, dirt, potting soil, whatever you have. Put it on top about 6 to 8 inches and plant away. My other philosophy for getting a lot of volume is if you can see dirt, you don't have enough planted. So you have tomatoes that get tall, plant shorter things underneath it, or something that might need shade. Lettuce can grow under tomatoes, onions grow underground, so plant underground and just cover all 3 layers. And if you can see dirt, you've not planted enough.
I'm fascinated by all that, and I love that. And, we were talking earlier this morning just about growing your own vegetables and going to all of these farmers markets, because I think it was a Wall Street Journal report. It was the Wall Street Journal. Foot traffic to all of these farmers markets are exploding now with the cyclospora outbreak, and everybody is now kind of thinking about at least becoming more aware of all of the great produce that people are growing in their different states and regions.
Yeah, for sure. In Virginia, I had a hashtag. It was hashtag Eat Your Yard. And so to get people started, seeds are $2 for a pack of seeds, and you can grow hundreds of pounds just from those packs of seeds. You can also, gardeners tend to be a very generous group of individuals, and you can find seed swaps. Midland had a huge seed swap where people bring their extras or leftover seeds, and you just swap them out or take what you need, and you can garden for free.
We are talking to Holly Barron. She is the assistant airport director here at MBS International Airport in Freeland, Michigan. GoGreat.com for the Great Lakes Bay region if you want to plan a trip or see all of the different things that they have going on here. We're talking about cities: Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, Saginaw, Frankenmuth, Midland, and right here in Freeland at MBS International Airport. Holly, talk to me about the airport employees and their role in this giving back garden.
So they help to maintain it. Our maintenance department helps maintain it. They have the lawn around it that they have to take care of, working around all my tools, but they really just come out and do what's needed, whether it's weeding, helping to fertilize, helping to water. All of that's back there. I have a giant 250-gallon tote that needs to be filled every now and then that's used for watering. So everyone just pitches in and does what needs to be done.
How long does this garden last for the year?
So my hope is to have it run well through winter. You can grow many things in the cold weather: spinach, lettuce, kale, chard. They all love the cold weather, and the colder the weather, the better the flavor.
Really?
So yes. So snow does not kill plants like that, and cold does not kill plants like that. Frost does. So as long as you keep them away from the frost, you should be able to harvest well into early winter.
I feel like I'm learning a whole new world out here. And I think it's incredible that, you do this essentially to give back.
To give back, yeah.
And what does that mean to you? I think when you show up and you're off, like in Virginia, when you're giving away 300 pounds, what does that mean to you when you go in and do that?
Yeah.
What does that mean to them?
Sure. So from my perspective, airports are always part of a bigger community, right? The obvious functions that we have are people taking off and landing, going to their destinations or arriving here. But what people also don't realize is airports serve med-flight, police departments. Say there's wildfires, you need an airport to land at, to
There's a
refuel,
lot of those.
and what have you. Exactly. And so I like to highlight, I guess, for lack of a better term, that airports we're not pavement, we're not runways and taxiways. We're part of your community. Things I'd like to start here going forward would be a school supply drive. In Virginia, I had a school supply drive. In my last one, I donated 32,000 school supplies that the community came in and donated. I had movie night at the airport, and people would come in and watch movies. So those are things I'd like to try to bring here, just to open the doors to the community so they can see what we have to offer for them.
So your whole aura about you is this giving back to the community that you're in.
You have to. Why be gifted with certain skills or talents if you can't give back?
I absolutely love that. It is so inspirational, especially in a time like these when, we're at each other's throats and maybe we walk by each other. We're glued to our phones and glued to our tablets and we're not talking to each other. And here you are with this great opportunity to give back, to share, and do something good. That's pretty incredible.
Thank you.
Do you have one message you'd like to leave our audience with?
Oh my gosh. You can do it. Gardening does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be complicated. You don't need to till up rows and rows. Cardboard and compost and some free seeds is all you need to #EatYourYard.
Holly Barron, this has been really enjoyable. And I'll tell you, you are an inspiration to so many people. Continue to do this great work that you're doing, and would love to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, that's very kind. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us out here today. We are at MBS International Airport. Delta and United fly out of here. Just a quick 2-hour drive from the city of Detroit. I got Ray Templin making hand motions over here at me, and we're flying away. We're flying away. Yes, we are. It is the Ag Tour 2026. We're coming right back. Get you caught up on some news now. It is Election Day, less than 24 hours away. We'll get you caught up on that. We'll get you the latest on the trade deadline, and we'll get you the latest on the Cyclospora outbreak as well. All that coming up next. 760 WJR.
Detroit, go all in for Tigers baseball at Comerica Park. Place your deposit today for next season, and you can score a complimentary game for the 2026 season. As a member of the 1901 Society, you'll enjoy exclusive access, unforgettable baseball experiences, and perks available only to members. See every pitch, every home run, and every big play from the best seats in the house. Don't miss your chance. Visit Tigers.com/deposits and place your deposit today.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Collins and Blaha, attorneys at law, specializing in the representation of school districts. Collins and Blaha, your education experts. collinsandblaha.com.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2026 Women Who Lead class. Julie Ishak, Michigan Medicine Chief Nurse and Operations Executive, leads 8,000 nurses, and she says nursing is a calling.
It is a difficult job that these nurses are doing, and they do it with compassion, they do it with love, and they do it with purpose.
Special thanks to University of Michigan Health, Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital for supporting Women Who Lead.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-1509. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-1509. That's 800-555-1509. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509.
I'm John Saucier. President Trump wants Iran to restore full traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. He's threatening military action if they don't. Indiana Republican Senator Jim Banks on Fox says the president wants a peaceful resolution to this conflict.
If the Iranians don't come to the table and rapidly make an agreement to end their nuclear program and reopen the strait, then President Trump is going to bomb the hell out of them again.
The U.S. and Israel have agreed to pause further strikes while the deal's being negotiated. Former Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci is facing increased criticism from GOP members after a recent Senate hearing. Representative Jim Jordan says for the entirety of COVID-19, the rhetoric seemed to have followed a template.
The left will tell a lie. Big media will report the lie. Big tech amplifies the lie. And when you tell the truth, they call you names.
America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, industrial, or public electrical construction project. NECA members like the Talbot Corporation are powering Michigan's future project after project on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. We still have that police activity on Coolidge south of 9 Mile. Please avoid that area. The right lane closed for repairs on I-94 westbound between Greenfield and Wayne Road. More construction blocking your right lane on the northbound Southfield Freeway between Ford Road and I-96. And we've got that repair project on the Jeffries westbound between Levan and I-275. You're slow from Farmington Road there. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Lots of sunshine for the remainder of the day. A high near 80. Right now it's 79 degrees. Clear skies for tonight will drop down to 68. More sun for Tuesday. Maybe a couple of degrees warmer. We'll get up to 82. I'm Rich Luzinski, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess.
How old is your roof? Coming in 3, in 2. It's Ryan Ermanni. Let me ask you something. How old is your roof? If it's 15 years or older, or you've noticed missing shingles, curling edges, or discoloration, don't wait. Call the team I trust at Paramount Roofing. They are Southeast Michigan's #1 roofing, siding, and window company with more than 1,600 five-star reviews. Paramount Roofing estimates are always 100% free, and you don't pay until the job's done. Schedule today and tell them Ryan sent you to get $1,500 off any project. Visit weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Okay, another one. This is 30-second script, August urgency. Thinking about replacing your roof, siding, or windows? Don't wait. August is the time to do it. Call Paramount Roofing today for a 100% free estimate. With over 1,600 five-star reviews, they are Southeast Michigan's most trusted for the past 15 years. And the best part, you rarely pay a deposit. You simply pay when the job is done. Schedule your free estimate and tell them Ryan sent you to get $1,500 off any project. Visit weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Good for now? Okay.
760 WJR is your home for monitoring every race. Coverage begins on election night with JR Morning's Chris Renwick and Lloyd Jackson at the desk watching the results as they come in. Then tune in post-election morning and however long it takes until the final counts are in. Tomorrow night on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to decide. You're listening to the 10th annual Pure Michigan Ag Tour on WJR with JR Afternoon's Ryan Ermanni. Today, Ryan is live from the terminal at the MBS International Airport in Freeland. This broadcast is sponsored by Go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan. Once again, Ryan Ermanni.
And if you want to learn more about this region, gogreat.com is the website. The Great Lakes Bay region encompasses so many communities in our great state: Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, Frankenmuth, Midland, Saginaw. It's we're just over the Zilwaukee Bridge at MBS International Airport, about a 15-minute drive after you cross over the Zilwaukee Bridge. I mean, where we are, Delta and United Airlines fly from this airport. You can go direct to Detroit, direct to Chicago, and then, of course, you can hop on a flight. We saw a guy, Beth Ann and I, he was traveling to Las Vegas via Detroit. He was so happy to do so.
I'd love to be on Vegas trip with him too.
Right. We were about to, there's nobody at TSA. Go right through.
Maybe we should go hop a plane next.
Absolutely. We'll fly back to Detroit.
Yeah, there we go.
Here. There's no doubt. But the Ag Tour is one of the great tours because I think it is so under talked about. It's not talked about enough in our state. It's only behind automotive. It's the second biggest driver of our economy. Agriculture, $125 billion a year it contributes to the economy. And I'm excited to talk about it this week. And we'll get you the ins and outs and all the different farms. 95% of farmland in this state is owned by families still. I think that's really cool.
I think it's amazing. Fun fact, I come from a family of farmers. Our generation does not, but my grandma's parents, they started the farm over on the west side. So I love, I haven't really thought about it too much. So I love seeing other families that do this and how much it impacts this country, this state and country, honestly.
No doubt. So we'll get you more on this in just a little bit. I do want to take a little bit of a pause and get you caught up on a little bit of news here. It is the final push ahead for the Michigan primary tomorrow, and candidates, of course, vying for their party's nomination, stumping for votes over the weekend and continuing to do so even today. And everybody is talking about this hotly contested Democratic race for Senate. Who will get the nomination between Congresswoman Haley Stevens and Dr. Abdul El Sayed? The winner will take on Republican Mike Rogers in the November general election. Polls open tomorrow from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. And if you watched any national news program over the weekend, this was the first, second, and third thing they discussed, the Senate race in Michigan. The lead story, and so many eyes will be focused on the Michigan primary tomorrow. I am fascinated with this election, and having an opportunity to talk to both Haley Stevens and Abdul El Sayed, I do get a sense that this is going to be I think this is going to be a close, tight election, but we'll see who shows up. According to the Secretary of State's office, Beth Ann, over 1 million votes have already been cast through early voting and mail-in voting. If you go back to the midterm election in 2022, there were just over 2 million votes cast in that election. So would you anticipate, if that holds true, that about 1 million people will vote tomorrow, or will we see even more people vote tomorrow in this primary election because of how talked about this race is?
I think we could definitely see more. I can't remember a time in my life of a midterm being talked about as much as this one.
100%.
And just how close a race it is. I feel like when you look at two parties together, usually a lot of the candidates seem pretty similar, but in this case, I would say they're vastly different. So I think it's bringing a lot more people out and paying attention to a midterm than usual.
I did talk to a couple of people that, Michigan's an open primary, so you basically can just vote in any election that you want. And I am curious to see if there would be, and there's really no way to put a finger on this, I don't think, but how many Republicans will cross over and vote in the Democratic election this primary? Because, Mike Rogers is unopposed. I think the prevailing theme or the thought process, and maybe even a little bit dangerous of a thought process if you're a fan of John James, is to think that John James will win this election going away. So maybe you'd pick up that Democratic ballot and vote for, let's say you don't want to run against Haley Stevens, or you don't want to run against Abdul El Sayed. You almost pick your candidate.
Yes.
Who you want to run against. I don't know if that's a good strategy or bad strategy. I always say just go vote for who you want to go vote for. Don't vote against anybody. It's like a sports team picking. It's like the Lions saying, "Oh, I wish to play the Washington Commanders in the playoffs because you could beat them." You didn't beat them.
You didn't beat them. You didn't beat them.
You don't want to handpick your opponent. Just why play with fate?
No, just vote who you think you want in there.
Right.
I wouldn't vote against anybody. We don't need another election like that.
Right. Isn't that something? But we'll keep an eye on it. All right, let me get to some baseball talk now. Baseball trade deadline today at 6 p.m. And obviously, the big news over the weekend is that Tarek Skubal was traded for 3 prospects to the L.A. Dodgers. And Skubal arrived in L.A. last night. He was in the dugout hugging Dave Roberts, the manager, met his teammates. He looked good in Dodger blue. But I think a lot of Tigers, I'll speak for myself here. I was sickened by the trade. I really was. And maybe it was because he went to the Dodgers, or maybe it was because it felt like they pulled the trigger on this deal so early. I was following all the, Jeff Passan and Jim Bowden and I forget the guy's name from the New York Post, John, whatever, doesn't matter. I have so many baseball people. But they were talking about quotes from all these different general managers that are shocked that that's the deal you get on a Saturday. He's like, no, that's the deal you pull on a Monday. You take this deal and you shop that around. And I am so disappointed that the Tigers traded him to LA. 1. I'm so disappointed they didn't get back LA's top 1, 2, or 3 prospect. 2. I'm so disappointed they didn't get a proven commodity for him. And I'm also disappointed that a team like Milwaukee or Tampa, so Tarek Skubal, you don't have to pay him $400 million right now. He's available to everybody. You just got to give up a top prospect. How you could be legitimately going for a World Series title and not want to keep him from going to the Dodgers, I'll never understand.
Yeah, like you just made them unstoppable, even more unstoppable now. They've won year after year now, and now they have an unstoppable team on
What's
their backs.
Milwaukee doing?
Exactly. Nothing.
Give me whoever you want to
Exactly.
compete with this.
So, like, I just could not believe that they just so easily handed him off for prospects that I don't agree with, that are going to help us in any way, to a team that you're not going to be able to beat now,
Yeah.
no matter who they take in.
I just think the Tigers, and still, you can call me whatever you want to call me, and that's fine. I still believe the Tigers can win the AL Central Division and make some noise in the playoffs. This is as bad an American League as we've ever seen collectively in our lifetime. There is no dominant team in the American League, and if you have the opportunity to win in a year, like we say it with the Pistons, we said it with the Lions, you cannot miss your windows when you have opportunities like this. And I'm afraid the Tigers may have missed their window. I hope they did not. We're coming right back. Ag Tour 2026, 760 WJR.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid.
Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure, or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Steer clear of an accident occupying your construction zone on I-696 eastbound after Middle Belt Road. Another wreck on 75 northbound at 8 Mile. And we still have that police activity on Coolidge just south of 9 Mile. Please avoid that area. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Plenty of sunshine for today, a high near 80. Clear skies for tonight. We'll drop down to 68. Right now it's 79 degrees. More sun for Tuesday, maybe a couple of degrees warmer with a high of 82. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. Let me ask you something. How old is your roof? If it's 15 years or older, you've noticed missing shingles, discoloration, or you've got leaks against these Michigan storms, you don't want to wait until a small problem becomes a big one. Call the team I trust, Paramount Roofing. For the past 15 years, they've been helping Metro Detroit homeowners protect what matters most. And with more than 1,600 five-star reviews, they've earned a reputation for doing the job right. Whether you need a beautiful new roof, James Hardy siding, or energy-efficient replacement windows, Paramount Roofing offers 100% free estimates and makes the entire process simple. Here's what I really like. They rarely ask for a deposit. You don't pay until the job is completed to your satisfaction. If your home is showing signs that it's time for an upgrade, don't put it off. Schedule your free estimate at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Paramount Roofing, built to last, backed for life.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Right back here on JR Afternoon. Hopefully your Monday is off to a great start. Your week is off to a great start. It is an absolutely picture-perfect day to be outside, and we are glad to be on the 2026 Ag Tour. We're in Freeland, Michigan, broadcasting from the Great Lakes Bay region as part of our Ag Tour. We're at MBS International Airport, and one of the things that I love about this Ag Tour is that I specifically learn about things that I have no idea about. And to help us talk about one of those things, Sarah Archer, the owner of 5 Heart Earthworm Farm and Iris Waste Diversion Specialist. That is a long title, Sarah, but you have a worm farm in short. Tell me about the worm farm.
I do. It's actually is an offshoot of Iris Waste Diversion. So my main business is really helping people to reduce what they send to the landfill. And out of that grew 5 Heart Earthworm Farm, because one of the things that I started doing many years ago was teaching people about how to use worms to eat their food scraps to keep those from the landfill. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, food waste that goes to the landfill actually converts to methane gas, and methane gas is 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide in the carbon emissions that we're all worried about with our cars and our lawnmowers and things like that. So one of the simplest things that we can do to help reduce those emissions is to deal with our food scraps, reduce what we throw away, eat our food, eat our leftovers, compost if you can, use worms, use backyard composting. And if you can't do either one of those, through Iris Waste Diversion, you can, in our Great Lakes Bay region, hire us as a service to pick that food up and get it composted for you at our farm.
Let me just go back to the way beginning, to the point where you are trying to reduce waste. And from that came this. Can you take me back to when that all went down, and what you, in your education and your background, obviously realized that worms were a great resource?
Yeah, and I actually started in this industry down in Washtenaw County.
Wow.
Working as an environmental educator for Ypsilanti Township. And so it was through that job that I learned so much about worms, and teaching kids in a classroom about the importance of reducing their waste, not just through recycling, but through using worms and composting. So that's really what brought in my education around all of those different activities. And here I am in the Great Lakes Bay region now, and I'm married to a farmer, or a man who was raised on a farm and is currently a worm farmer. He actually works for me.
I love that.
Yeah, so he's my worm tender. But it is all about taking the food, especially that we don't eat, and putting it back to good use. Sending it to a landfill is just so wasteful, honestly, because food comes from the earth. It should return to the earth, and we're just helping people to do that through education and through our service to get it back into the soil where it will do good things for the planet.
So visitors can come see what you do, correct?
Yes, they can. We love to have tour groups out. We love to have classrooms, homeschool groups. We do quite a bit of that over the course of the year, and you can see our operation.
What do they see when they're there?
So when they come to our farm, we're on 40 acres. The worm operation is actually on 10. We have a 30 by 60 worm barn, so it's filled with beds of worms. So we have thousands and thousands and thousands of worms in beds in there. So when the kids come, when the school groups come, or even the adult groups come, if they want a lesson, part of the lesson allows them to dig through the worm beds, find a worm, and they become worm scientists. And I teach them about the worms and their body parts, and they get to observe all the worms and learn about their importance to the soil health and growing good food, healthy food that they're going to eat. So,
what is the most important thing about the worm? What purpose does the worm serve?
Oh gosh, well,
above all, do you
there's
think?
thousands of different species of worms. So the worms we use are called red worms, and they're the composting worms. So for us, the composting worms are the most important because that's what we do,
Yeah.
right? And they are the ones that will break down all that food along with all of the other great organisms on the planet that we can see, but also those microscopic organisms that we can't see.
Forgive the dumb question here.
No, that's
but
not dumb.
Does the worm gain weight when they eat all the food? Do they expand?
They actually expand more through the moisture content that they have in their body because they're 95% water. And so given a nice moist environment, they will kind of plump up that way. But they're eating fast and pooping fast.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what we're after at our worm farm. We don't raise worms for the worms for fishing. We actually raise them for the worms castings, which is a fancy way to say worm poop. And we package and sell that so people can use that in their gardens, and whatever they are growing, whether it's outdoors or indoors, it's going to just produce some lovely plants that have flowers or fruits or vegetables.
I'm totally fascinated by this. And we are talking to Sarah Archer. She's the owner of 5 Heart Earthworm Farm, an iris waste diversion specialist. And Sarah, where does the waste come from? I guess the worms attack.
Yeah, Grace, that's great. So through our service, which we call Give a Scrap, we provide containers to business customers as well as residential customers, and we pick that up right at their doorstep from the home, or right at the dock, or the business's back door, and we bring that back to the farm to process. We compost on site. We don't compost it fully so that there's still some food that the worms can break down, but it's really all about the microbes in the worms.
That's interesting because I love hearing that, because I think for so many people, me included, I want to help. Don't know how, in many cases, or make it easy for me, make it easier for me. This is an easy way that you make it easier for residents and communities to say, hey, we know you want to help. Here's a way to do that, and we'll take it from here.
Right. And the very first step is really about just not making the waste to begin with.
Correct.
So when I go into classrooms and talk to students, I just tell them, especially the high school kids, it's like, if the only thing you do is when you go to your favorite fast food place, if you don't like tomatoes, is just to say no tomatoes. Because what are you going to do with that? You're going to open that burger up and it's going to go in the trash. But if you say no tomato, guess what? They're going to hold it in the back and they're going to give it to somebody who loves tomatoes. And just that little bit helps reduce what's going out.
That's fantastic. And even, by what you're doing, if I was doing this weekly or monthly or however I was doing it, however frequently you do that, and you all of a sudden, at the end of each day or at the end of each week, you realize, like, oh my gosh, I have all this waste. Maybe that'll get me to cut down on my own waste if I actually visually see what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And we report back to our business clients, because a lot of them, they have metrics that they want to report to corporate or to, just to their customers about what they're doing. So we have impact data that we give them. And even with our residential customers, they know how much every month that they're recycling through composting.
If people want to come see you, if people want to come visit, if people want to come check it out online, where do they find you?
Yeah, so 5 Heart Earthworm Farm, 5heartearthwormfarm.com is our website. We also have
the number 5.
The number 5, right? We have an active Facebook page as well. And then anyone interested in our Give a Scrap service, they can just go giveascrapcompost.com and check it out there too. And we serve the Great Lakes Bay region.
Sarah Archer, I am totally fascinated by this conversation. Oh, you did? Can I see them?
Yeah, so you'll have to they're not, I just brought a few, just a couple.
Let me I have a camera here that I could show our YouTube audience.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, let me get them out of here. Come on, guys.
Oh my gosh.
I made a little mess.
Sorry, Ray.
Sorry, Ray. So you're going to see that they're just small little guys. The red worms are small composting worms.
Look at that. If you're watching on YouTube. Look at that.
Yeah. And those are their worm castings. Looks like dirt. It's better than dirt.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Our YouTube audience got a treat right there.
Yeah, sorry, Ray. I made a mess on your table.
It's okay.
But I did bring a sample of our worm castings for each of you too.
We love that. Yeah. Sarah, thanks so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Sarah Archer, owner, 5 Heart Earthworm Farm, and iris waste diversion specialist. Fascinating here. See, this is what we learn on the Ag Tour. We're coming to you live from the Great Lakes Bay region. GoGreat.com. 760 WJR, hour number 2 straight ahead. It's Ryan Ermanni. Are you in pain right now? I'm talking about the severe and chronic kind that stops you from enjoying your life. I've been there too, and that's why I want to tell you about the amazing pain elimination treatment I use only at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. It's FDA cleared and 100% safe. The highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. The best part, there's no injections, pain meds, downtime, side effects, or surgery. Great for people suffering from arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or other ailments. Laser treatments get rid of the pain, they reduce inflammation, and regenerate tissues by targeting the root cause of the pain. It's located in Farmington and Clinton Township. You can call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month, and you're going to get 50% off your treatment plan. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. Call now.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
760 WJR.
This is The Last Chance on Jack Callahan, Fox News. That warning for Iran from President Trump a short time ago about talks to end the conflict. Talks which the president says are ongoing.
When we talk, we say we're talking. If we're not talking, when you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now. We're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran.
President called off airstrikes against Iran over the weekend.
President Trump saying for the moment the U.S. is holding off against any major strike against Iran. The president saying that that decision comes after consultation with allies, including Saudi Arabia. But the attacks, the president warned, if they were to take place, would have been simply overwhelming for Iran.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. Crude oil falling below $80 a barrel in trading today. The national average price for gasoline unchanged, though. According to AAA, the president says oil companies are making too much money and he doesn't like it. Easing tensions in the Middle East pushing stocks higher. The Dow up more than 660 points. NASDAQ and the S&P 500 also higher. President has signed an executive order creating a commission to suggest ways to better support military spouses as military recruiting continues to climb.
After hitting a low in fiscal year 2022, Army recruiting has climbed every year since, up nearly 38% overall, with the biggest jump coming in fiscal year 2025. The Army has already met its annual recruiting goal for 2026 months ahead of schedule.
Fox's Brooke Taylor. Senate confirmation for acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to take that job permanently, now more likely. Two Republican senators, John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, had been threatening to block Blanche's confirmation, but now say they will vote for it in tomorrow's Senate committee vote. Blanche over the weekend rescinding plans for a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
Watch out for a wreck on I-75 northbound at Livernois. We also have an accident on I-696 eastbound after Middle Belt Road. That's in your construction zone. Still have that police activity on Coolidge, just south of 9 Mile. Please avoid that area. And M30 closed in both directions between Shearer Road and Adams Road due to an accident. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Lots of sunshine today, a high near 80. Clear skies for tonight, a low of 68. More sun for Tuesday. A couple of degrees warmer with a high of 82. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Ermanni here. I want to tell you about my friends at Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth. If you are feeling low in energy, if you've got brain fog, if you've gained weight or a drop in motivation, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's tied to hormone changes that can be measured and treated. At Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth, they focus on solutions like testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT. Testosterone naturally declines with age and can affect energy, muscle mass, mood, and mental focus. TRT works by safely restoring levels to a healthy range based on lab work and ongoing supervision. They also offer peptide therapy. Peptides are amino acids that help your body signal and repair itself. Certain peptides can support fat loss, recovery, sleep, and overall performance, helping your body work more efficiently. I joined Game Day Men's Health last November, and with the proper testing and a personalized plan, the difference has been incredible. I feel better now than I ever have in my adult life, and I want that for you. They're located on Ann Arbor Road. You can start with a complimentary consultation. It does not cost you anything. A complimentary consultation and a testosterone test. Call 734-927-1718. That's 734-927-1718. Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth.
Right now, O'Reilly Auto Parts gets you back to savings. Fuel system additives can improve your vehicle's fuel economy and performance. Pick up select Royal Purple fuel system additives, buy one, get one free. Plus, receive 4 times O Rewards points. Add it to your tank at your next fill-up. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR, hosting the 10th annual Pure Michigan Ag Tour. Today, Ryan is live from the terminal at the MBS International Airport in Freeland. This broadcast is sponsored by Go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan. Visit gogreat.com. Here's Ryan.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a Monday, a picture-perfect Monday. You couldn't draw up a better weather Monday. Beth Ann Long out here with me. Dominic Valentini back at the station, making him run today. Dominic, we appreciate you. Dominic, hop on real quick. Say hello to everybody. You're doing a great job back there filling in for Danielle Mason. Say hello to the people.
Thank you very much, Ryan. I very much appreciate that.
You got that. I got a bunch of records too. Like during these commercial breaks, we're sending Dominic on wild goose chases and everything. We appreciate you, Dominic.
We're putting in the work while he fills in.
But nonetheless, we are here, Beth Ann and I, from the 2026 Ag Tour. Welcome to the Great Lakes Bay region. That's where we are. Great Lakes Bay region really encompasses great cities in our area. Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, Saginaw, Midland, Frankenmuth. We're in Freeland, Michigan at the MBS International Airport where, if you didn't know, I mean, you've got Delta and United flying out of this airport. You know, Delta and United going to direct flights to Detroit and to Chicago, and then you hop on and go anywhere you want. Beth Ann and I ran into a gentleman who was on his way to Las Vegas earlier today.
It's been partying up in Las Vegas.
19 doesn't beat 20. You ever been to Vegas?
I've actually never. I've had like layovers there.
Yeah.
I've never actually gone.
I've actually only been to Vegas twice in my life, believe it or not. Came back loser twice.
My mom actually just got back from Vegas yesterday.
I came back a total loser. I haven't been back in quite some time, but it's all good. But yeah, this Ag Tour is really something that I enjoy being on. And this week, we're going to tell you all about agriculture. Agriculture ranks second, the second largest industry in Michigan. It only trails automotive manufacturing here in this state. It generates over $125 billion in annual economic activity and employs over 800,000 Michiganders. Michigan is also the second most diverse agriculture state in the nation. We produce over 300 commodities. That trails only California, who produces over 400 commodities as the most in the country. And it's something I don't think, Beth Ann, that we talk about enough as a state, where we are in terms of agriculture in this state.
I don't think so either. Like everyone in like the fall gets so happy. That's when all the apples are coming out and like the pumpkins, and then obviously again in the summer with the strawberries. But I don't think we actually realize how big of an impact this state has on agriculture, and I love it.
Without question, I mean, everybody knows if you say Michigan, what's the first thing that you think of? The autos, right? You don't think of the sweet corn.
No,
you don't think of the
no.
apples. You don't think of the soybeans. You don't think of any of that stuff.
No, you don't. And like I come from an apple family, so like I loved going to apple farms. So I'm excited for this week to like go through and have other people learn more of what the state has to offer.
Absolutely. And we are also keeping an eye on a couple of big stories today. 1 day to go before the primary election day in Michigan, and all eyes will be on the races here, but none bigger than that Democratic Senate race, the primary between Haley Stevens and Abdul El Sayed. National attention. If you turn on any national broadcast today, tonight, tomorrow, it will all be focused on Abdul El Sayed and Haley Stevens and which direction the Democratic Party will go in. And we talk about the progressive versus the moderates. Neither candidate wants to pigeonhole themselves into any of those labels either. Abdul El Sayed, Haley Stevens, and everything like that. Also, Mike Rogers running unopposed on the Republican side, but the two governors' nominations, whether it's Jocelyn Benson and Chris Swanson on the Democratic side, whether it's John James and Perry Johnson on the Republican side, those are also obviously going to be something that we keep an eye on. I think everybody thinks they know who may end up coming out on top of the gubernatorial races, but still, polls don't vote. People do. And it is, you're shooting for about, 25%-ish turnout in a primary election. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's summertime or people don't pay attention to this stuff, but people don't come out and vote. I know there is an uptick in early voting and mail-in ballots. I know about 15% of registered voters have voted already. What does that mean tomorrow? Even if you get 1.5 million voters tomorrow, you're probably not going to get more than 1.5 million voters tomorrow. That would put you at about 2.6 million votes when you have, I don't have the number in front of me, but somewhere around 7.5 million registered voters. That means over 5 million registered voters have sat on their hands and done nothing. So we'll see with this election, what happens in this election tomorrow, but I'm fascinated by it.
I am too. Like I said in the first hour, I have never seen a midterm have so much traction like this one has, especially on a national level for our state. So I am very intrigued to see how it goes. I am one on election nights that always likes to stay up.
Oh
and,
yeah, I
just
will not go. I'll stay up till 3, 4 in the morning.
Same, and I will even like our last election, I was up like every 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see how this is turning out. So I'm excited for that night.
No question. MLB trade deadline day is also less than 3 hours away. The Tigers, I've been looking. I do not believe they have done anything so far regarding Casey Mize, Kenley Jansen, or Gleyber Torres. The Boston Red Sox with a big splash. They have acquired 3-time All-Star catcher Adley Rutschman. He was a top prospect and a top prospect at one point for the Orioles, and then turned into such a great player. 3-time All-Star catcher is going to the Boston Red Sox. Boston trying to hang on to that wild card spot, one of 3 wild card spots in the American League. The Tigers 2.5 games out of a wild card spot, 5.5 games out of an AL Central lead. They've got 50 games to play in the season and 23 games remaining of the 50 against AL Central Division opponents. So we'll see what they choose to do. I would love to see them add a bullpen arm. I think they can absolutely win the American League Central, and I think they can absolutely make some noise as well in the postseason. There is no dominant team in the American League this year, and we have seen, whether it was the Pistons this year, they're first place all year long. They get to the deadline, don't do anything, and they're bounced out early. We've seen it with the Lions, and they never go for it. And it's so frustrating as a Tiger fan that you are in a position in a year when you can go for it. And we'll see what happens over the next 3 hours or so. But it does not look like anything is happening just yet. Lions with their first padded practice today. So we'll get you some talk regarding that as well. Steve Courtney will join us coming up bottom of the hour. We are going to take a break. We're going to talk more about our ag tour. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Jackie Kaiser. She's the communications manager for the Michigan Sugar Company. We'll tell you all about this. We are on the ag tour 2026 from Freeland, Michigan, 760 WJR.
Hey there, WJR listeners. Chris Alberta here at Principium. Listen, your bucket of money, that precious little gem that's taken you a lifetime to accumulate, has been growing. And if you're anything like all of my clients, you were worried that it might not be enough to supplement your retirement, especially if the markets have a downturn. All these incredible investment and insurance tools these days, they've been designed to address specific problems and concerns. But most folks I see every week, they have the wrong stuff. You know why? Because no one's taking the time to actually invest in them and diagnose the actual problem, the actual concern. Yeah, look, my process, it's laborious, but it's worth it. The results and the peace of mind are a byproduct of us learning together. If you're retired or nearing retirement, it's time for you to dig in with me. We can increase the reward and we can decrease the risk. It's a win-win. So stop going to steak dinners, free steak dinners offered by financial salespeople. Invest in yourself with me at my office on your timetable with zero pressure. Call me today, Chris Alberta at Principium, 1-888-800-8949.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
It's Spin on Golf with PGA professionals Brian Cairns, Jordan Young, and WJR Steve Courtney, 6 p.m. Sundays live from St. John's Resort. Escape to the greens with the Cardinal Stay and Play Golf Package. Visit stjohnsresort.com for great information.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties, a trusted source for rental property management for over 3 decades. They handle the advertising, cleaning, and repairing of your rental. Let the experts at North Bloomfield Properties manage your investment property. You can enjoy your weekends again. Visit northbloomfield.com. We still have that police activity on Coolidge, south of 9 Mile. Please avoid that area. 75 northbound at Livernois. We have an accident there. Another wreck on I-696 eastbound after Middle Belt Road. That's blocking your right shoulder and in the construction zone. And M30 closed in both directions between Shearer Road and Adams Road due to an accident. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Lots of sunshine still left in the day. It's 80 degrees, more sun for Tuesday, maybe a couple of degrees warmer. We'll get up to 82. We're going to drop down to 68 for tonight with clear skies. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming up Tuesday on JR Morning, primary day here in Michigan. We'll talk about all the hotly contested races, especially on the Democratic side for U.S. Senate and the GOP's big decision on who will represent them on the November midterm ballot. Join us 6 to 9 on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
The Dan Bongino Show. Folks, it's not my job to sit here and try to stir you up for clicks. I think I've been very level-headed. I've had to tell people a lot of things they didn't want to hear. So let me tie together into a bullet point storyline. This information warfare against your mind is very real. Be careful where you're getting your information. Do not gaff this off. I'm telling you, this is why I've been so passionate. This stuff is real. Now, does it make sense?
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
JR, we are on the Ag Tour, 2026 Ag Tour. Brings us to Freeland, Michigan, part of the Great Lakes Bay region, GoGreat.com. And to help us talk about a couple of things that are happening here in the region is Jackie Kaiser, Communications Manager for the Michigan Sugar Company. And it just sounds great. That's a great company to work for, Jackie.
It is. Thanks for having me.
What goes down at the Michigan Sugar Company?
Well, we have farmers across our growing region. We have planted just over 140,000 acres of sugar beets from here to Huron County and beyond this year. And then we bring those sugar beets in during harvest and we turn them into sugar.
That's pretty incredible. I mean, you go to the store, you buy sugar, and you don't even think about where it's probably coming from right down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. 1.3 billion pounds of sugar every year.
Right from here.
Yes, we have our main facility just up the road in Bay City, and we have factories in Cairo, Croswell, and Seaboing also.
Really? Now, what goes on at these factories?
It is a pretty labor-intensive process, but it's really just about extracting the sugar from the sugar beet at the end of the day.
Can you tell me about that process? Do you know anything? It feels like I'm so unaware of anything that happens, how that all breaks down. I'm just fascinated by it.
Yeah, we do offer factory tours. So when we have harvest, you'll have to come
Jackie,
see.
I'm gonna come see you for a factory tour. Now, what kind of year is it for farming? What was last year like? And what are we looking at this year?
I think last year was challenging overall in the farming industry. Our growers have had a difficult time. On-farm economics across all crops are challenging, but we learned how to control the controllables. So unfortunately, we haven't learned how to control the weather.
You haven't?
No, not yet.
Oh my gosh, when you do, will you let me know how that works out?
Yeah, if anyone can put in a good word with Mother Nature, we could really use
Right.
it. But the one thing we can control is disease. And last year we were hit pretty hard with crop disease. And so our agronomy staff is the best of the best. And they worked with our growers this year to put together individual customized spray programs for all of our fields to make sure that we do not have that same problem. So far this year, things are out there looking pretty good.
You know, that disease, it feels like even that part is uncontrollable to some extent until you realize that it's upon you. Is that kind of accurate or not really?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it really depends. It can depend on anything from the wind to the tractor that's in the field to what was planted in the field last year. So yeah, to some extent, you might not be able to control when it pops up, but you can control how early and how often you spray.
How do you deal with the lack of rain?
Well, we're fortunate because we've always had a very good climate for growing sugar beets, and we don't have to irrigate. Most of the other places in the country that grow sugar beets do have to use irrigation. So right now, we're just kind of crossing our fingers and hope that we get a few good rains in here before harvest starts in a few weeks.
Harvest starts in a few weeks, and what is that? Is everybody just out there trying to grab these all these beets and extract all that sugar?
Not quite yet. So our what we call our early dig harvest will start toward the end of August or early September, weather depending. And for that, we just have our growers bring in enough sugar beets to get our factories up and running. And then late October, again, kind of depending on the weather, that is full systems go 24/7, harvesters in the field all day, all night, trucks on the road, bringing everything in.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is there a time of year? Now, that sounds like something that might be interesting if you're coming to do a factory tour or something like that. That might be a good time of year to do it, right?
Yes, that is when we offer our factory tours at our Bay City factory. So if you're interested in a factory tour, we have those available on our website. But yeah, we only do them during the harvest season. For a lot of our customers, we bring them out to the field and then through the factory so they can kind of see the best of both worlds.
I don't know. Like, I'm like total big dork about this stuff. I love watching things grow and watching things get made and like the how-to of it all. And that's absolutely something that I think would be enjoyable for just about anybody to come see. Now, let me ask you, you guys do so much too out in the community. And one of the great things about the Great Lakes Bay region, it feels like everybody kind of chips in with everybody else. You know, everybody's working together. Tell me about some of the things you have, like you're involved in the Boys and Girls Club program and everything like that.
Yeah, I think something that's really important to note is that Michigan Sugar wouldn't exist without the communities and the people that live in the communities that we're in. So Bay City, Cairo, Croswell, and Seaboing, those communities don't exist without Michigan Sugar. Michigan Sugar can't exist without those communities. So it's very important to us to give back to those communities. Boys and Girls Clubs of the Great Lakes Bay region is one really good example. I actually have two colleagues that are at some of the campuses today doing a Great Lakes Bay Climate Cup experiment, teaching the kids all about how the Great Lakes impact our soil and how that makes our climate good for growing some of the crops that we have here across the state. So it's a lot of education. It's a lot of, community service and things like that, but it's something that we're really proud of.
A lot of hands-on education. I mean,
Yes.
firsthand knowledge, people coming together and really teaching kids. And I think that's how interest it gets going in a young kid. Maybe you've got the next CEO of the Michigan Sugar Company sitting in the 5th grade right now
Hey,
in
you
the
never
Boys and
know.
Girls Club.
You never know.
Right? And I know you give back to the food bank of Eastern Michigan as well. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so last year we have a partnership with the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, the Cairo Chamber of Commerce, and Cairo Schools. We opened a food pantry that's called the Tiger Den in the Cairo Schools. And during the school year, students can come in and they can get personal care items and food items. And there's actually staff there that will show the students how to cook meals using the ingredients that are available. So we don't want these kids to just come in and take the food home and not know what to do with it. We're trying to teach them life skills and learn how to make these recipes that they can cook for their families. So that was a really special partnership too.
An entire holistic approach to this, to a whole message.
Yeah.
You guys are really doing some great things over there. I mean, it's got to be pretty cool to be part of something that's bigger than yourselves too.
It's very rewarding. Yes.
Absolutely. What's next for you guys? Is it just like wash, rinse, repeat? I mean, a yearly cycle of reinventing yourself and going out there. And I guess each year there brings a new challenge with the weather or the soil or what have you.
There does. And I think we've had a lot of different challenges this year, from farming challenges and challenges on a national level with some of the tariffs and things like that we've been impacted by. So
How has that affected you, by the way? Is that how have the tariffs affected you all?
I think overall in
Yeah.
farming in general,
Yeah.
some of the things like fuel costs have
Yeah.
risen extraordinarily, and sugar beets are something that they need a lot of sprays. So
Yeah.
it's not like some of the other crops where you can kind of plant it, spray it, forget about it, harvest it. Sugar beets need a lot of attention. So we have some farmers that are out there 5, 6, 7, 8 times. When the fuel cost is what it is, that can add up really quickly. So it's just challenges like that you have to figure out how to overcome.
But those little challenges are big challenges in the grand scheme of things.
They are.
There's no doubt you're trying to navigate all of it. You know, farmers are some of the most inspiring people, I think, to be a part of, because they always find a way.
They do.
And I'm so inspired by it. No matter what, they always find a way. It is so awesome to be. There's something special about the farming industry.
There really is. And our growers, honestly, they're some of the best people I've ever met. We have so many multi-generational farm families. I've met 5th, 6th, 7th generations, and the 8th generation is right out there, 5, 6, 7 years old, right in the tractor with dad and grandpa. So they're wonderful people, and they work hard, and they're just out there growing sugar beets.
You talk about the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th generation in some cases. Usually, maybe a family business, the last second generation, maybe a third generation sometimes. But farming, man, you'll keep going and going and going and going.
It will.
Well, I really enjoy the conversation. Jackie Kaiser, thank you so much. Michigan Sugar Company, website, social media, where can people learn more information?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow us on social media at Michigan Sugar Company or learn more at michigansugar.com.
We love that. MichiganSugar.com it is. Hey, we're coming right back. We are on the Ag Tour 2026. Laura Russell, the owner of Russell Blueberry Farms, will join us, 760 WJR.
After avoiding debates for months, John James just made it clear why. When questioned by Perry Johnson about his support for the reviled kill switch mandate and being funded by data center developers, John James strangely replied,
I know when you were born, black people could still be bought and sold in this country, but no one owns me.
Huh? John James went right to the Democrat strategy of playing the race card. John James is no conservative. He's a lying liberal. John James as governor? Terrifying thought.
All right, I've got a 30 and 2:15 here. Okay, 30-second script. This is the 30-second script does more. Coming in 3, in 2. Paramount Roofing does more Southeast Michigan exterior remodeling than anyone. They've earned over 1,600 five-star Google reviews from happy customers by being the most cost-effective exterior remodeler on the planet. Paramount Roofing is a company you can trust installing the best roofing, siding, and windows with real lifetime warranties and requires no money down. Save big in the month of August and tell them Ryan sent you to get $1,500 off any project. Schedule your free estimate at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. All right, now I got 2:15s. This is a 15-second script, August hard sell. 3, 2. August is the month to schedule your roofing, siding, or window project. Beat the fall rush, lock in your spot, and get a free estimate from Paramount Roofing. Tell them Ryan sent you and get $1,500 off any project. Visit weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. All right, here is a 15-second script. Is your roof 15 years or older? Is your roof 15 years or older? Call Paramount Roofing for a free estimate with over 1,600 five-star reviews. They are the team you can trust. Tell them Ryan sent you, and you're going to get $1,500 off any project. Visit weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. God, I mean, these are like 17, 18 seconds, but I mean, I got nothing. I can't do much more than that. All right, so those 5 are done.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Please stay away from Coolidge Highway just south of 9 Mile. We still have that police investigation going on there. I-696 eastbound after Middle Belt Road. We have an accident blocking your right shoulder in the construction zone and another wreck on 75 northbound at Livernois. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Lots of sunshine today. High near 80. Clear skies for tonight. We'll drop down to 68. More sun for Tuesday. It's going to be a little warmer. We'll get up to 82. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
You know, Michigan summers mean outdoor adventure and fun, but high temperatures shouldn't break your budget. Count on Consumers Energy to help make the most of this season and your budget with tips and ways to save. Making small changes like shifting some energy use to the morning or evening, raising your thermostat a couple of degrees, doing laundry at night or on the weekends, all can help lower your bill while keeping your home comfortable. Discover more ways to beat the heat at consumersenergy.com/summer.
America 250, Michigan made.
On busy American streets in the early 20th century, cars, horses, and pedestrians all tried to share the same space with very little order. As the automobile age took off, one inventor looked at the growing chaos and saw an opportunity to bring safety and structure to the intersections that were quickly becoming dangerous. His idea was simple but revolutionary. A signal system that could stop traffic, then let it move again in an organized way, reducing crashes and confusion. That concept, 3 lights controlling when thousands of people move and when they must wait, would go on to shape nearly every city in America. And no place needed this kind of innovation more than the emerging motor capital of the world, Detroit, Michigan. Where its streets filled with vehicles rolling out of new factories, and as mass-produced cars changed how Americans lived and worked, they also demanded new rules for the road. The traffic signal helped make that transformation safer and more manageable. The inventor whose work paved the way was none other than Detroit's own Garrett Morgan.
America 250, Michigan made. From 760 WJR. America 250, Michigan made.
On busy American streets in the early 20th century, cars, horses, and pedestrians all tried to share the same space with very little order. As the automobile age took off, one inventor looked at the growing chaos and saw an opportunity to bring safety and structure to the intersections that were quickly becoming dangerous. His idea was simple but revolutionary. A signal system that could stop traffic, then let it move again in an organized way, reducing crashes and confusion. That concept, 3 lights controlling when thousands of people move and when they must wait, would go on to shape nearly every city in America. And no place needed this kind of innovation more than the emerging motor capital of the world, Detroit, Michigan. Where its streets filled with vehicles rolling out of new factories, and as mass-produced cars changed how Americans lived and worked, they also demanded new rules for the road. The traffic signal helped make that transformation safer and more manageable. The inventor whose work paved the way was none other than Detroit's own Garrett Morgan.
America 250, Michigan made. From 760 WJR. You're listening to the 10th annual Pure Michigan Ag Tour on WJR with JR Afternoon's Ryan Ermanni. Today, Ryan is live from the terminal at the MBS International Airport in Freeland. This broadcast is sponsored by Go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan. Once again, Ryan Ermanni.
And this Great Lakes Bay region really supports each other really tremendously. For more on the entire region, gogreat.com is the website. Happy to be on the Ag Tour and happy to meet the local farmers that are really producing local food. To help us talk about blueberries, Laura Russell Varhola, the owner of Russell Blueberry Farms. Laura is a retired U.S. Army colonel of 30 years.
30 years.
Wow.
Absolutely. My husband and I both have served 30 years in the Army. That's where we met.
thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely.
From the U.S. Army to blueberry farmers. That is an awesome natural track, right?
Of course, very natural.
Tell me about coming home essentially and doing this.
Sure. So, my dad, I think around my current age here, had a midlife crisis and decided to buy a blueberry farm after I'd gone off to college. So I did not actually grow up on a blueberry farm. I went to college on an ROTC scholarship and went into the military and decided to make a career of it after I enjoyed doing what I was doing. Met my husband in the military, had a family, traveled all over. But it got to that point where my parents in their mid 80s were not able to handle the family farm responsibility. So we had that family sit down meeting. Do we sell the farm? Do we keep the farm? And my husband and I had just come off of a couple big tours in Africa. I worked at U.S. embassies. He was working on his PhD in cultural anthropology. So we had a lot of collective experience on the importance of food security, and we had done a lot of work with food security in Africa. And so for us, at least on an intellectual level, that resonated with us in terms of keeping a family farm, keeping food local, appreciating what local farms do for our communities, not only in terms of providing food, but providing employment, and just ensuring that land is taken care of properly. So for us, it made sense. It helped my family, it helped my parents, and it gives us something to do outside and stay healthy and active.
So many different nuggets of information that I want to explore, and one of them is just you had the family talk of, do you sell the farm or do we keep going with the farm? How many? I feel like that is almost every farm. They go through that at some point. 95% of farms in Michigan are family owned, and it feels like that conversation right there, no matter what the circumstances are, you have that conversation.
It is tough. I mean, it is absolutely, I had economics 101 when I was in university and in the military. You talk about it, but it is an economy of scale issue. When you, as a small family farmer, you still have to pay the price for fertilizer. You still have to pay the price for fuel and all the inputs into that. But yet, and you can't buy them at a large bulk rate because you don't have the storage or the facilities. So, trying to make sure that your pricing is right and you're getting customers that appreciate what it takes to grow locally at a reasonable price is a constant conversation we're having to have with our customers, because you can buy things in the grocery store for sometimes cheaper than what you can do at a local farm or a farmer's market. But that's where the value is, because it's costing that farmer a lot of times more to produce that food locally. So, I mean, those are just some of the conversations, and it was an eye opener for me in terms of the economic realities of what it costs to manage a family farm. So it's been a labor of love. Let's just leave it at that.
Absolutely. We're talking to Laura Varhola, the owner of Russell Blueberry Farm and Nursery. And you have a unique perspective as well because of what you did in the United States Army and in your travels and food insecurity and all of these different regions in Africa. What do you take from that experience that you bring home now to farming blueberries and to being a local farmer and supply a local food base?
Yeah, well, again, going back to Africa, one of the things you do is in the military is you're looking for how to. So in Africa, I worked at U.S. embassies as the military attaché and helped those local militaries with some of their national security issues. So in parts of Africa, food security is a driver of insecurity, and so it's a national security issue for those folks. And so that takeaway for me coming home, again, food insecurity or lack of access to food is not a national security issue for us in America. But for me, it's something that I want to keep. We came home and I retired from the military right on the cusp of COVID. And that's when we started seeing problems, in this country with logistics. And, if we buy something in California and want it tomorrow in the grocery store in Michigan, there's a supply chain issue. There's a logistics issue that we could not do during COVID. And so people forget that, if we always rely on logistics and getting our food from long distance places and from huge box stores, we don't always get the quality and the quantity and what we want. So for me, it was, let's maintain this farm, let's maintain the quality of the soil and the environment, and we can make sure that if something does happen, we're here to help.
And we something did happen here. You know what I mean? We see the cyclospora.
I get calls every day
right.
about, are we safe? Can we come out? And I think a lot of people have been coming out because they feel that, that's the other thing with local farmers. If you know your local farmer, you've built that trust, you've built that confidence in our practices and what we do, and that we are really genuine about taking care of the soil and making sure that we're producing the best blueberries we can in our case. So that's super important for us because just like as I tell my children who are going into the military, reputation is number one. You can put a bad product down, and if it kills your reputation, customers aren't going to come back. So it's all about you and the quality and making sure that you know where you're buying.
We always say it takes 30 years to build a reputation and 30 seconds to destroy it.
Absolutely. And social media, it can work for you or against you. So you got to manage that as well.
We were talking earlier this morning too on my television show that I do. Wall Street Journal had a report that they are seeing such an uptick in foot traffic and produce sales at farmers markets and locally grown farms across the country. Is that what you're seeing? For just this little micro portion or where we are aside, isn't it a bigger message too that we kind of
that's a hard one. Anecdotally, yes, we've had more foot traffic, but we've also had a shorter season over the last couple of years because it seemed, call it changing weather patterns, call it climate change, I'm not sure, but our season is definitely getting shorter. So we're trying to get, the same amount of customers, or customers are trying to come in a shorter window to get blueberries. And so, it's been more concentrated for us. But you're right. A lot of people have been asking about that or have been very afraid to go get their food, in grocery stores or places where they have normally.
For our audience, if they want to come grab some blueberries, if they want to take a day trip, a weekend trip, where are they coming to come see you?
Great. So we're located, again, Russell Blueberry Farm and Nursery. We're located at 11895 Frost Road in Freeland, Michigan. And it's a fantastic, we have 22 acres of you-pick blueberries. Come and pick $2.90 per pound. It's a great family outing.
Laura Varhola, owner Russell Blueberry Farms in Freeland. What a great conversation. I really enjoyed talking to you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Absolutely.
We're coming right back. 760 WJR. Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni. I want to tell you about my friends at Cosm. They are bringing the ultimate immersive sports experience right here to Detroit. At Cosm, you can watch your favorite sports on massive high-resolution displays surrounded by fellow fans. The Dome is an immersive experience with a massive wraparound display and reserved seating. Watch the game from inside the Dome. Feel like you're transported to the field or the court with elevated food and drinks brought directly to your seat. The Hall features wall-to-wall live multi-view sports so you can catch every game while cheering on your teams with fellow fans. Cosm has a huge selections of games to choose from the NFL to college football, NBA to WWE, Premier League soccer, and so much more. They even have immersive movie nights, including Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Harry Potter, The Matrix, plus additional programming perfect for the whole family or a special date night. And we cannot forget the deck, Cosm's top-level bar with amazing views for when you need a break from the action. You can even enjoy a signature menu of local food favorites, craft cocktails, and beers throughout the venue. To get more information on upcoming events, including pre-sale access, go to cosm.com/Detroit. That's cosm.com/Detroit.
I'm John James. A few years ago, they called me a fearmonger when I warned about socialism and communism on the rise. Well, here we are. Socialist radicals are taking over the Democrat Party you used to know. And Michigan is ground zero. Now our healthcare is unaffordable. They're twisting the minds of our children, letting illegals vote and steal our Medicaid. They sympathize with terrorists. They say the most important thing they can do is take America down from within. As a West Point graduate and a former U.S. Army captain, I have a word for that: treason. Socialism's not just on our doorstep, It's inside the House. Republicans need a strong, tested leader who will first kneel and pray and then stand and fight for Michigan and for our republic. I'm John James. I fought evil abroad with an Apache helicopter so we wouldn't have to fight it here. But now that it's come, we will put on the full armor of God and defeat it right here in Michigan, together. Paid for by John James for MI.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Coolidge Highway now closed northbound between Capitol Street and 9 Mile due to a police situation. I-696 eastbound still closed between the Lodge and I-75. We do have a wreck on US 23 northbound after Willis Road, blocking your right lane. Some slowdowns on 75 northbound between Allen Road and Dix Highway. Another accident on 75 northbound at 8 Mile. That's causing delays from the Davison. And steer clear of a wreck on I-75 southbound at North Line Road. That's blocking your left shoulder. We also have a disabled vehicle on I-94 eastbound at Livernois. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Lots of sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. It's 80 degrees. More sun for Tuesday. Maybe a couple of degrees warmer with a high of 82. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, here we go. 760 WJR. My good friend Kayla Pyon is with us. Kayla, this has been a tremendous first day of the Ag Tour 2026. GoGreat.com is the website. This region really celebrates each other, and I think that's one of the coolest parts about the Great Lakes Bay region.
It's so fantastic. I mean, we have been partners with WJR for years, and having that platform to share our stories and share those small businesses that really make things work in the Great Lakes Bay region has been great. And it draws people in. I mean, we have blueberries, we have worm farms.
I have worm
to
poop
help grow
in
your
front of me.
blueberries, right?
I have worm poop in front of me, Kayla. I mean,
You do.
on a list of things that I thought was going to happen to me today, I did not think I would be the beneficiary of 2 vials of worm poop.
I'll tell you, add that to your house plant, add it to any of the plants you have growing in a garden. Night and day difference.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
makes such a huge difference.
I'm going to go home and give those to my wife, actually.
Oh,
And she's
what a great gift.
Yeah, she knows, though, probably. She probably knows
She
that
will.
she's going to be so
Yeah.
excited about that. That's
I
very
will tell
thoughtful.
you, we went and did a small feature on them a couple months ago. And I was really grossed out by the idea. And I feel like saying that because everybody, when you talk about worms, honestly, going through the process and understanding what they do environmentally,
Yeah.
it was, by the end, I was sold. I'm like, where can I get my own pets, my worm pets? Right?
Yeah,
Like-
I'm telling you.
right.
Ray Templin's trying to give you some
I'll take
over
it.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, we'll take it. We'll
I'll
take
take
it. But one of the things about this, and we're at MBS International Airport in Freeland, and again, part of the Ag Tour is that I really enjoy is learning about all of these different places and industries, and whether it's blueberries or, to be honest with you, I feel terrible. I didn't realize this place was even here.
Yeah, MBS International Airport, and I think it's important that we say international, is such a great jewel to our region. So, for those that are listening, this is essentially smack dab in the center of our 3 counties, Bay, Saginaw, Midland. To come from Midland and fly out Bay City, Saginaw, it takes a 15-20 minute drive.
Yeah.
If you live in region. Right? You mentioned we're just over the Zilwaukee. So you're traveling 75, 675. This is an easy, accessible airport. $14 a day to have premium parking.
Right.
And then get here 40 minutes before your flight if you're checking a bag. If you're not checking a bag, get here 15 minutes before your flight and have 0 wait with TSA.
Yeah.
And everybody is so friendly. And that's important too. It's really the people that make it here.
I totally agree, and I'm going to Boston at the end of the month, and I priced it out from here.
Yeah,
I would have saved myself $400.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. I mean,
well, and think of the time too.
Yeah.
Now I love Detroit Airport.
Yeah,
I do,
sure.
and we've done the driving, the flying directly out before I really knew about this place. We would still be flying into Detroit,
Sure.
still utilizing Detroit, but the time that it would save me and my family to drive there,
Yeah.
to just get on a flight, get them to the airport there, get settled, grab something to eat at Detroit before our next flight.
Right.
Priceless.
But
I can use that to pay for their meal.
Seriously, and you know, you talk about everything is so expensive these days.
Yeah.
Flights are so expensive these days. So, I mean, if there's an opportunity to save a couple of $100 for a 2-hour
sure.
ride, seriously,
Yeah.
I mean, why not do it? But again, it's just it's just one of the great things that come from this ag tour is you learn about things that you might not have otherwise learned about.
Yeah, and again, it's all community based, right? These are local individuals that work here, come here every day. You heard our assistant director, she's growing a giving garden out back
Seriously.
on airplane or airport property. And then we are so innovative. We have covered parking. The covered parking also has solar panels on. I know we haven't had an opportunity to discuss that, but that helps support the energy that the airport needs to keep running. Like we're all about community based here and however we can save, whether it's time, money, but also the environment.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this first day of the ag tour as well, you know, not only obviously talking about the airport and the giving garden, but we talked about sugar farming, blueberry farming, and worm casings, what that can do. I just, you know, there's so much to you mentioned the state of Michigan, and the first thing that somebody will probably say to you is the autos.
For sure.
You know, everybody knows about the auto industry. You know, before I started doing this last year, I did not realize that agriculture is the second biggest driver of the economy in the state.
It's huge. I mean, think the cherries, the apples, the potatoes.
Yeah.
Munger Potato Festival just wrapped up yesterday, just northeast of Essexville. We have potato farmers in the region that work with local potato chip factories, right? Like we are large producers. Beets are huge. Corn is huge. Like
corn's coming up. You could drive when you're driving by. When you're driving by, it's a little bit taller. Those stalks.
That means it's good. It's real good corn this year. But we're in a valley, right? We're the Saginaw Valley. So with a valley comes enriched soil, and we're so blessed in the region to have that for our farmers, because farming is an industry that you slowly see shrinking.
Yeah.
And there are many people out there that are continuing the tradition that their great grandfathers started because they believe so much in it.
Well, we were even just talking to Laura Varhola about, you know, her dad has this farm, and then they have the conversation about whether or not they're going to sell the farm or continue to work at the farm. And, you know, 95% of Michigan farms are owned by families. Yeah. And each of those families probably at some point has had that conversation. From generation to generation. What do we do moving forward?
Absolutely. And, you know, we're talking produce about these farms, but we also have farms that raise cattle and raise chicken, and they have this process where they grow what the animal eats. They make sure to maintain the health of the animal, and then they're butchering right on site. So these farmers really care about what their customers are putting into their bodies as well. And I think that's huge.
Absolutely. Kayla, thank you so much for having us out today. I really enjoy this.
Thank you so much for coming.
I cannot wait to see you again, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. And we invite everybody to check out the Great Lakes Bay region. And the best way to do that probably is to go to their website, gogreat.com. Trust me, you're out there scrolling on websites, pulling up stuff you don't even know what you're pulling up. Go pull up gogreat.com and see how great this region is. Plan a day trip, plan a weekend trip, plan a week trip. You can do so many different things. It is gogreat.com. Kayla, thanks so much. We appreciate you. We'll see you later this week. You got it. I had a great day. Beth Ann, awesome. Still no Tigers trades as of yet today.
Nothing
That's
yet.
a negative.
Nothing.
Ray, good day out of you. Yep, a good nod there. Works on the radio every time, my friend. And Dominic back home, we appreciate you pushing those buttons. And we thank everybody for making us part of your day. Don't go anywhere. The Mitch Albom Show is next on 760 WJR.